Welcome to the Nomad Transparency Show, where we peel back the parchment and see what's really written between the lines. Today's target, the Federalist Papers. 85 essays penned in 1787 and 1788 under the fake name Publius, written by three men who couldn't stop themselves from meddling: Alexander Hamilton, James Madison, and John Jay. They weren't just writing history, they were running the first propaganda campaign in American politics. Think Substack before Substack, tweets before Twitter, burner accounts in colonial newspapers. Picture America in 1787. The Articles of Confederation were falling apart like a busted wagon wheel. States were taxing each other like mob bosses. Debt was crushing everyone. Shays's rebellion had farmers with muskets threatening the system. The so-called United States wasn't united. It was 13 separate headaches pretending to be one country. The government was broke, weak, and one bad harvest away from collapse. That's when Publius walked onto the stage. Hamilton wrote like a man wired on caffeine and ego. 51 essays poured out of him. His message was simple: we need a strong federal government, or the whole thing burns down. He wanted taxes, he wanted an army, he wanted order. He basically said, give the central government the tools and let them wield the hammer. If Hamilton had a podcast today, he'd call it The Centralizer, and you'd either binge it or hate listen. Then you've got James Madison, the coder, the systems guy. He wasn't about charisma, he was about architecture. His most famous essays, Federalist 10 and 51, are still quoted today. Madison warned, factions are inevitable. People will form mobs, cliques, and parties. You can't stop it. But in a big republic, they cancel each other out. And in Federalist 51, he dropped the classic line: ambition must be made to counteract ambition. That's checks and balances, not because humans are noble, but because they're selfish. He built a government where everyone's lust for power blocks everyone else's lust for power. John Jay only wrote 5 essays before bowing out sick, but his point was crystal clear: unity in foreign policy. He basically said, act like one country, or Europe will divide and conquer us. Jay was the PR guy. Less fire, more strategy. Think of him as the op-ed writer who wanted America to look respectable on the world stage. So there it is. Hamilton the empire builder, Madison the firewall coder, Jay the PR man. Together, Publius was less a philosopher than a full-blown influence operation. And here's the kicker: what they sold as a safeguard for liberty also laid the foundation for central control. Hamilton would have adored the Patriot Act. Madison would have warned about it. Jay would have smiled on CNN and called it unity. Stay tuned for part 2, where we go essay by essay and expose which Federalist Papers were gospel for freedom and which were just scaffolding for the ruling class.